Hi guys, so I've decided to start this new series of all of the different styles of dance. I'm going to be doing my top 7. Now, you might be wondering why I'm doing a top 7 and not a top 5 or top 10. It's because, well, my lucky number is 7. Um, so I'm going to be doing top 7. And I'm going to be doing them for each style of dance. So I'm going to be doing all of the ballroom, so the Charleston. Hang on a minute. What does the Charleston fit under? Does the Charleston fit under ballroom or Latin? Good question. If anybody knows, please comment. I really don't know whether the Charleston is a ballroom or a Latin dance. I actually don't know. I'd like to say it's a Latin. It seems more of a Latin to me, but I'm not entirely sure. It could be a ballroom. I mean, it could be the quick step. Although then again, the Charleston is a fast dance and the quick step is the fastest. So it could be the... Oh, never mind. Let's just get on with the video. So I'm going to be doing the top 7 of each of the styles of dance. So all of the ballroom, like the waltz and the quick step and all of that. All of the Latin, like the Argentine tango and the Viennese waltz and all of them. And then I'm going to do the show dance, obviously. The only style that I'm not going to do is the Lindy Hop. The Lindy Hop or the rock and roll, because the Lindy Hop has only been performed like twice. There's no point in doing a top 2, is there? And I don't even remember when they did the Lindy Hop style, so I'm just going to be doing the normal ones that you see and the show dance because, well, I freaking love the show dance. Okay, so I'm going to start with the rumba because the rumba is my favourite style of dance. Now, I know there's a debate, do you say rumba or rumba? I say rumba, that's how I've always said it. It's quite satisfying to say, actually. So I'm going to be doing my top 7 rumbas. I'm going to go from 7, which is the bottom of my list, and then number 1 to the very top of my list, which is my favourite rumba of all time. Now, a lot of these are from the last couple of series, but that's because, well, I hadn't really been watching it for that long. I mainly just spent half my life catching up on them, and these are the ones that stood out for me over the past couple of years. So here we go. Number 7, Matt and Flavia. Now, I didn't watch this live at the time. I only saw this on YouTube like a couple of weeks ago or whatever. But I fell in love with it. It's a really beautiful dance. And it was they did it to Last Christmas, which is also Last Christmas and All I Want for Christmas Is You just so happened to be my favourite Christmas songs ever, along with I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day as well. I also love that song. But I absolutely loved that dance because it was to Last Christmas. And for me, the music plays a big part in it. If I like the music and the dance comes together beautifully, very often I'll absolutely love it. And I absolutely loved Matt and Flavia's dance. Just beautiful. Number 6, Colin and Amy. Now this one's a very recent one. This was on the Christmas special again. They did it to Run by Leona Lewis, which is just such a beautiful song. I don't like the Snow Patrol. Just to clear it up, I don't like the Snow Patrol version of Run. I don't like that. I prefer the Leona Lewis version. I don't know which one is actually the original, but I like the Leona Lewis version better. I don't like the Snow Patrol one. Colin and Amy. Colin was never my favourite contestant, and Amy was never my favourite professional, but I really liked the two Welsh people coming together, and I loved the song Run, and I loved their rumba. It was beautiful. And how people were saying that it wasn't good enough for a Christmas special was beyond me, because I thought it blooming well was. Number 5, Helen and Adiash. Now, I know that this one was very, I think it only scored something like 31 or whatever. I remember they said that it wasn't like a 40-point thing, but it was beautiful. I love the song Hello. And Helen and Adiash were just adorable. They were divine together. They were one of the cutest together. They really were. And I loved them together. I loved their tango, and their rumba was just amazing. It was just absolutely beautiful. Okay, number 4, Frankie and Kevin. Now, I loved this particular one in 2014. I don't know how the hell it was so undermarked by Craig and Darcy. I felt that the only two that actually... Now, normally I don't argue with the judges' score. I'm like, oh, it's fine. But I really felt that one was... That should have been marked a lot higher. And it was one of the few dances that actually managed to make me cry with how beautiful it was. The only dances I think have ever brought me to tears are Molly and AJ's waltz, what's the face? Caroline and Pasha's show dance, and Louise and Kevin's show dance as well. They brought me to tears, those dances. And this one did make me a bit emotional, and it still does when I watch it. And I do feel that it should not have scored 34. It should have got 36 or 37 at least. It was 7, 8, 9, 10 going down. It was when Thingamajiggy, Len, was still on it. It went 7 from Craig, 8 from Darcy, 9 from Len, 10 from Bruno. Should have been 9, 9, 9, 10, or 9, 10, 9, 10, or whatever. It should not have been 34. It was beautiful, and in case you didn't know, I love the song Somewhere Only We Know by... It was the Lily Allen version that they actually performed on the show, I'm guessing, but I actually really prefer the Keen version. I think that's how you say it, Keen, or whatever. The original version anyway, by the band. It's just the most beautiful song, and it was just so sweet. I think they did the Lily Allen version because the Lily Allen version is much slower than the Keen version. But I absolutely love the song Somewhere Only We Know. It always makes me want to cry, makes me want to... Oh, it's just a beautiful song. Number 3, Greg and Natalie. Now, Frankie and Kevin's was always my favourite until... would have taken number 3 if it hadn't been for Greg and Natalie's Rumba. Greg and Natalie's Rumba was just incredible, and it only got something like 25. I know it got 4 from one judge. No prizes for guessing who that was. Greg and Natalie, that was beautiful though. I mean, the thing with them was, they started off really well, Greg and Natalie. They started off really well. Then they had a couple of weeks where they did really, really well. Then they did the cha-cha, and then they really fell in points. I think they only got a 2 or something. I know they got a really low score for it. They either got a 2 or a 4. I can't remember what they got. I really can't remember what they got, but it wasn't that high. Then they went all the way up, and they got I thought that they'd gone all the way up with this Rumba, but then Craig said it was too much like a show dance, and it only got something like 25. And I was gutted because it was beautiful. I love the song Bring Me to Life for one thing. They both looked absolutely amazing together. They had chemistry. They were just gorgeous. I loved their partnership. I loved Greg, I loved Natalie, and I still do. Why did it only get 25? Okay, number 2, Claudia and AJ. Now all of these Rumbas I personally think were undermarked. All of my favourite Rumbas were personally undermarked. Claudia and AJ, they were undermarked for me. Claudia and AJ were the dark horses of 2016. Definitely. Yes, Ore won, and Ore did really good. And yet he came from 0 to hero, admittedly. Claudia and AJ were absolutely divine together. They were darling. They were literally, they had a really good start. They stayed consistent all the way through, and they were just absolute perfection. And I loved them. And when they did that rumba to Bleed in Love in the semi-finals, I thought this is going to get a really high score. It was beautiful, the lines were beautiful, it actually had chemistry. It was the first proper kind of grown-up dance they'd done, because they did a lot of cutesy pie ones too. I really liked all that. It was a really serious, mature rumba. It was beautiful, it brought me to tears. They had a really good connection and all of that. Maybe her acting skills weren't that good, but I still felt that she should have gone through on those two dances alone. The quick step and the rumba. They were both beautiful. I mean, come on. Okay, and number 1, Georgia and Giovanni. Georgia and Giovanni's rumba to Writing on the Wall will go down as my favourite rumba of all time, and it's going to be very hard to top it for me. They were amazing. When they did it in the first place, admittedly, when they did it in week 3, it wasn't that good, to be totally honest with you. And Len and Giovanni had a right go at one another about. I remember Len was rude to Giovanni or something, and Giovanni was rude to him, or I can't remember exactly what happened. But then when they came back and redid it in the final as judge's choice, it was perfection. How did it not get a 10? It's beyond me. All of these rumbas for me were personally undermarked. Apart from maybe Matt and Flavia's and Colin and Amy's, I felt that most of them were undermarked. I felt that they should have got a lot higher than they did, and I just mean, come on. Now, the rumba for me will always be my favourite dance, and for me, it's very hard to impress me with rumbas. I also like Jay's. Rumba, and I liked Danny's rumba, and I liked Alexandra's rumba, but the singing on that was, but literally, the rumba is very hard to impress me, but when they do impress me, it's amazing. Anyway, I'll be back soon. My next one will probably be my favourite waltzes, because that's my favourite as well. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll be back with more videos soon. Bye!